Leo adjusted the controls of the small shuttle as it glided toward the orbiting research station. He had been traveling through space for months, studying new planets and alien life forms. His mission was simple: observe, document, and report. But deep inside he hoped for something more, a discovery that would make history. The station loomed ahead like a metallic crown, suspended against the swirling colors of the planet below. Its metal walls reflected the light of a distant sun, making it look almost alive. Leo took a deep breath. He had visited many stations before, but this one felt different. The planet beneath it was full of strange colors, blues that shifted to purple, and golden clouds that moved as if they were alive. As he docked the shuttle, he checked his equipment one more time. His scanner was ready, his suit was sealed, and his mind was alert. He stepped out into the station corridor. The air was controlled, warm, and breathable. The hum of the station was calming, but it could not hide the excitement in his chest. "Leo," said a voice over the comm system. "Welcome to Orbital Station Veda." "Thanks, Control," he replied. Everything looked stable. Leo walked through the corridors, passing walls lined with blinking lights and screens showing the planet below. He was looking forward to the research labs where alien samples waited to be studied. Yet he knew the real discovery might not be in the lab. Sometimes life itself had a way of surprising even the most experienced explorers. When he entered the observation deck, he froze. There she was, Mira. She stood on a platform near the edge of the room, her skin glimmering with a soft silver light. Her eyes were wide and bright, reflecting the colors of the planet below. She moved with grace, every gesture careful and deliberate, yet natural. Her presence seemed to change the air, making it lighter, as if the station itself had noticed her. Leo had seen many alien species before, but Mira was different. He had expected creatures with strange shapes, sharp teeth, or unusual limbs. He had not expected something delicate, beautiful, and full of life. "Hello?" he said, stepping forward. Mira turned her head slowly. Her gaze met his, and for a moment Leo forgot to breathe. She studied him quietly, tilting her head as if trying to understand the human before her. Her expression was calm, curious, and faintly amused. "Human," she said, her voice soft, melodic, and slightly musical. "You are far from your home planet." "I could say the same about you," Leo replied with a smile. "I am Leo. I am here to observe and study the life of this planet." "I am Mira," she said. "I observe, I learn. I understand humans are curious and ambitious." Leo nodded. He had prepared for a lot of situations, but not for meeting someone like Mira. She was not dangerous. She did not seem hostile or fearful. Yet her presence made his heart race. He glanced at her hands. They were delicate, long-fingered, and shimmered faintly with tiny light patterns. "You have lovely hands," he said without thinking. The words left his mouth before he could stop them. Leo realized immediately that they were strange to say aloud. He glanced at Mira, unsure of how she would react. For a moment she did nothing. Then a faint blush spread across her cheeks, changing the silver of her skin to a soft pinkish hue. She looked down, then back at him, and whispered almost shyly, "Say it again, human." Leo's mouth opened, then closed. He had not expected that. Mira's reaction was unlike anything he had ever seen from any alien species. She seemed vulnerable, curious, and moved by a simple word. I meant it," Leo said carefully. "You are lovely." Mira's eyes brightened. She moved slightly closer, tilting her head to the side. "Humans speak in curious ways," she said softly. "A single word can carry much meaning." "You said it again." Leo felt a warm rush in his chest. He had been trained to observe, to measure, to report, yet here he was, caught in a moment that could not be measured. Mira was real, and she had responded in a way that felt personal. He wanted to say more, but he also wanted to understand her first. "Can you show me your world?" he asked. "I want to learn everything about it, from the plants to the skies." Mira nodded slowly. "I will guide you, but you must be careful. My world is alive, and it watches." Leo followed her out of the station into the planet's observation platform. The view was breathtaking. Golden clouds twisted around blue mountains. Rivers of light flowed across valleys, and strange luminous creatures moved beneath the surface. Leo had seen incredible planets before, but none like this. "Every creature here has a role," Mira explained. "Every color has a meaning. Humans often see only beauty. We see purpose as well." Leo listened closely, absorbing every detail. He took out his scanner, but Mira waved him off. Not everything can be measured, she said. Some things must be felt, he smiled. She was teaching him already, in a way no textbook ever could. As they walked along the platform, Mira paused near a small glowing plant. She touched it lightly and it pulsed with soft light. This plant is curious, she said. It responds to attention. Humans would call it lovely too. Leo laughed. It is lovely, he said automatically. Then he realized what he had said and looked at her. Mira blushed again, her light flickering softly. You, like the word? He asked, intrigued. Yes, she admitted. It is rare for me to hear words like this. Humans speak with feelings. Many do not understand how powerful it is. Leo felt a new kind of respect for her. He had expected an alien who was strange and alien in every way. Instead, he had found someone who could understand feelings, who could be moved by simple words. They spent hours exploring the observation deck, talking about the planet, its patterns, and the creatures below. Mira showed him the rivers of light, the moving clouds, and the strange animals that glimmered in the valleys. Leo recorded everything, but more than that, he watched Mira. Every gesture, every glance, every small smile fascinated him. At one point, Mira looked at him and tilted her head. Why do humans speak words of admiration so easily? She asked. Leo thought for a moment. I suppose we notice beauty and want to acknowledge it. Sometimes it is awkward. Sometimes it is natural. But when we feel it, we say it, Mira nodded slowly. I understand. Your species is bold in many ways. You do not hide your feelings, Leo smiled. And you are honest in yours. That is why I feel drawn to you. Mira's blush deepened and her glowing skin flickered. Humans, you are unpredictable, she said softly. And yet, I like it. The sun on the planet began to set, casting golden light through the observation deck. Leo and Mira stood side by side, watching the shifting colors of the clouds. Neither spoke for a long moment, yet both felt a connection that went beyond words. Finally, Mira whispered again. Say it one more time, human. Leo smiled, his heart beating fast. You are lovely, he said. Mira's smile was radiant. Thank you, human, that word. It is now special to me. The alarm on the station buzzed, reminding them that their time outside the main observation area was limited. Leo glanced at the control panel, then back at Mira. I suppose we should return inside. Mira nodded, her light dimming slightly as they walked back. Yes, but do not forget. Words have power. You have shown me kindness today. Leo felt a sense of pride and happiness he had never experienced before. He had come to the station to study a planet, but he had found something far more meaningful, an understanding, a friendship, and the start of a connection that might change both their lives. As they entered the station, Leo knew that this was only the beginning. Mira was curious, intelligent, and sensitive in ways humans rarely encountered. He wanted to learn everything about her world and about her. And somewhere in the back of his mind, he hoped she would continue to blush whenever he said a single word. For now, though, the station awaited, with its blinking lights, humming machines, and distant stars. Leo and Mira had met, a human and an alien, in a moment of rare honesty and connection. And both of them knew deep down that this encounter would not be forgotten. As Leo prepared his notes for the day, he glanced at Mira. She was studying a glowing panel, her face thoughtful. He smiled and said quietly, You are lovely. Mira looked up, her eyes shining brighter than the stars outside. Yes, human, she whispered. I know, and with that the first day of their strange, wonderful journey together came to a close, leaving the promise of adventure, understanding, and a bond that neither species had ever known before. The morning light filtered through the observation deck, painting the walls with soft gold and blue. Leo arrived early, eager to continue his exploration of the strange and beautiful planet below. After the events of the previous day, he felt both nervous and excited. Mira had changed everything about this mission. She was not just another alien species to observe. She was someone he wanted to understand, someone he wanted to learn from. Mira was already waiting for him near the observation platform. Her silver skin shimmered faintly in the morning light, and her eyes glowed softly with curiosity. When she saw Leo, she smiled. It was a small, delicate smile, but it made his chest tighten in a way he had never felt before. Good morning, human, she said. "Good morning, Mira," Leo replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "Are you ready for today?"
"I am," she said.
"But today will be different. You will see the life below more closely. My people live among the rivers of light. You must be careful." Leo nodded. He had prepared for many challenges during his mission, but navigating the life of a sentient planet was something else entirely. He followed Mira as she led him to the station's lower observation deck, which extended out like a glass bridge above the colorful terrain. "Stay close to me," Mira warned gently. "The energy flows here can be unpredictable for humans." Leo stayed close, amazed by the glowing creatures that moved below. Some looked like floating ribbons of light, others like small orbs that pulsed with color. They moved with purpose, almost as if they were aware of his presence. He pointed to one of the creatures, a ribbon that twisted and shimmered in blue and gold. "What is that?" he asked. "That is called a luminara," Mira explained. "It observes and records the environment. It is not alive in the way you understand life, but it has consciousness. It responds to attention and intention." Leo watched carefully as the luminara reacted to their movement, glowing brighter when Mira approached. "Incredible," he whispered. "It's like it understands you." Mira's lips curved in a quiet smile. "It does. Everything here has a purpose. Humans often see only beauty, but here, beauty and purpose are one." Leo took out his scanner, ready to record data, but Mira shook her head. "No machines today," she said. "You must feel it with your senses, human. Only then will you understand." Leo felt a thrill of excitement. This was what he had wanted, not just to study with tools, but to truly experience the alien world. He followed Mira as she walked carefully across the bridge. She moved with such grace that Leo found it hard to keep up, yet he did not mind. Every step revealed more of the strange, glowing landscape below, and every moment spent near Mira felt electric. After a while, they reached a clearing where the rivers of light flowed more closely to the surface. Mira knelt beside one of the glowing streams, her hands hovering just above the flowing light. "Watch carefully," she said. "The river responds to emotion. Humans do not always realize it, but feelings can shape the world." Leo bent down beside her, feeling the warmth of the energy from the river. He closed his eyes and focused on calm curiosity. Slowly, the water seemed to ripple more brightly in response, twisting into patterns he had never seen before. "This is amazing," he said, opening his eyes. "It's like it knows what we feel." Mira's glow flickered slightly. "Yes, that is why we respect the river. Only those who understand intention can approach it safely." Leo glanced at her, noticing the subtle blush on her cheeks. He felt a strange warmth inside him, the same warmth he had felt when he had called her lovely the day before. Without thinking, he said softly, "You are lovely." Mira's eyes widened and she looked down, her light flickering in a gentle blush. "Again, human?" she whispered almost shyly. "You say it again." Leo laughed softly. "I meant it yesterday. I mean it today, too." Mira's eyes met his, and for a moment the world seemed to stand still. The rivers glowed brighter, the air felt lighter, and Leo realized that their connection was becoming more than curiosity or friendship. It was something new, something fragile but beautiful. After a while, Mira stood and motioned for him to follow. They walked along the glowing paths, observing the creatures that lived there. Some were delicate and small, others moved with surprising speed, yet all seemed to exist in harmony. Leo realized that Mira's people had built a world where every creature had a role, and every action mattered. "Humans rarely think about purpose," Mira said quietly. "You live fast and you act without always seeing the effect on others. Here, every action has meaning. You must learn that." Leo nodded. "I want to understand," he said. "Teach me, Mira. I want to see the world through your eyes." She smiled faintly. "Then pay attention, not just with your eyes, but with your heart." As the hours passed, Leo observed the patterns of life below, learning to interpret the pulses of light, the flows of energy, and the movement of creatures. Mira guided him patiently, answering questions and explaining the subtleties of her world. Occasionally, she would pause, glance at him, and smile. Each time he felt a flutter of excitement, and each time he accidentally called her lovely again, she would blush. By mid-afternoon, Leo and Mira reached a part of the planet that glowed with golden light. It was a forest of crystalline trees, their branches sparkling in the sun. Small creatures scurried among the roots, leaving trails of luminous dust. Leo knelt to examine one of the creatures, fascinated by its intricate patterns. They're called glintlings, Mira explained. They collect energy from the sun and the rivers, storing it for the trees. Without them, the forest would not survive. Leo marveled at their cooperation. It's like an ecosystem, but more alive than I imagined. Mira nodded. Yes, life here is interconnected. Humans often forget that they are part of a larger system. You observe, but sometimes you forget that you also affect it. Leo looked at her, realizing the depth of her words. Mira was not just showing him her world. She was teaching him humility, patience, and understanding. He had expected to be the observer, but now he felt like a student learning from a wise teacher. As the day continued, Mira led him to a small clearing where the light was softer. She gestured for him to sit, and he did, feeling the warmth of the glowing ground beneath him. You have been patient, she said softly. You are learning, human. That is rare among your kind, Leo smiled. I want to learn. I want to understand you and your world. Mira's blush deepened slightly. You speak words that are powerful. You make me feel things I have not felt before. Your word, lovely, is one of them. Leo felt his heart race. I meant it. I still mean it. You are lovely. Mira's light pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. Thank you, human, that word. It is important to me. Keep it. It is a reminder of your kindness. They spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the glowing forest, sharing observations and learning from each other. Leo discovered patterns in the rivers of light, the movements of creatures and the energy flows in the forest. Mira observed him carefully, noting his curiosity, his patience, and the sincerity in his words. By evening, the sky above the planet changed, turning into a swirl of deep purples and reds. The glowing creatures below reflected the colors, creating a spectacle of light that left Leo breathless. He and Mira sat on the edge of a crystalline ridge watching the display. Humans often call sunsets beautiful, Mira said quietly. I see beauty, but I also see patterns, flows, and meaning. You feel it differently, yet your feelings are honest. That is why I enjoy your presence, Leo smiled, feeling a warmth he could not explain. I enjoy yours too, Mira. I have never met anyone like you. You make me see things in a new way. Mira turned slightly, her eyes glowing brighter. And you make me feel emotions I did not expect. Your word, lovely. It carries more than I imagined. Leo reached out gently, brushing a hand against hers. She did not pull away. Instead, she looked at him with a soft, trusting gaze. For a moment, words were unnecessary. They simply shared the quiet connection that had been growing since the moment they met. As night fell, they returned to the station, walking side by side along the glowing paths. Leo felt a sense of wonder, not just at the planet, but at the bond forming between them. Mira had taught him more in one day than he had learned in months of observation. She had shown him patience, understanding, and the subtle power of words. Before entering the station, Mira paused and looked at him. Tomorrow we will explore further. But remember, human, your actions and words matter. You are learning, and that learning is important. Leo nodded. I understand. And I will try my best. Mira's glow pulsed softly. Good, and do not forget the word, Leo smiled, feeling his heart lift. I won't. You are lovely, Mira. She looked at him and smiled, a blush spreading across her cheeks once again. Yes, human. I know. With that, they returned to the station, the lights of the planet below shimmering in soft waves. Leo could not stop thinking about Mira, her words and the glowing rivers of life she had shown him. He knew that this was only the beginning of something extraordinary, a connection between human and alien, curiosity and understanding, kindness and discovery. And deep inside, he felt certain that tomorrow would bring even greater adventures, challenges and lessons from the world below and from Mira herself. The day began with a gentle hum of energy from the planet below. Leo adjusted his suit and stepped onto the observation deck, feeling the warmth of the sunlight reflecting off Mira's glowing skin. The day promised new discoveries, and both of them could sense that something extraordinary awaited. Today, human, Mira said, her voice calm and melodic. We will go closer to the rivers of light. You must be careful. The energy can change quickly, Leo nodded. I am ready. I trust you. Mira glanced at him, a faint blush coloring her shimmering skin. Your words are unusual, human, she said softly. They carry trust and kindness. That is rare among your kind, Leo smiled. I mean what I say, you are lovely, Mira. She tilted her head, her glow flickering slightly as a smile spread across her face. Yes, human. I know. They moved to the edge of the platform where the glowing rivers twisted and flowed below like veins of light. Mira extended a hand toward the energy stream, and it pulsed brightly in response. The rivers have moods, she explained. They are calm when we are careful, but they can become wild when disturbed. You must pay attention to their rhythm. Leo watched closely, noting the subtle shifts in color and intensity. He had studied alien energy systems before, but nothing compared to this. The rivers were alive in a way he could feel in his chest. Every ripple and glow seemed to respond to their presence. Mira led him down a narrow pathway along the river's edge. The ground beneath their feet was firm, yet seemed to hum with energy. Small creatures darted across the glowing landscape, their forms shimmering and twisting. Leo marveled at the sight, feeling both awe and a sense of responsibility. Suddenly, the river pulsed violently. Bright tendrils of light shot upward, filling the air with a shimmering mist. Leo stumbled, catching himself on a crystalline tree. Mira's hand shot out, steadying him. Careful, she said, her voice firm but calm. The river senses fear. You must be brave, human. Leo steadied himself and nodded. I am ready, he said. Together they moved closer to the river, Mira guiding him through the glowing currents. The energy flowed around them like a living entity, wrapping them in light without harming them. Leo felt a thrill of exhilaration mixed with respect. He realized that Mira's guidance was essential. Without her, he could easily be overwhelmed by the river's power. As they reached a calm section of the river, Mira paused. Observe, she said. Do not touch yet. Watch the patterns, the movements. Feel their purpose. Leo closed his eyes and focused, sensing the subtle pulses beneath his feet. The energy of the river seemed to sync with his heartbeat, responding to his curiosity and calm. Mira watched him carefully, a faint blush on her cheeks as she noticed the concentration on his face. After a few moments, Leo opened his eyes. It is incredible, he whispered. I can feel it reacting to me, responding to my intentions. Mira smiled faintly. Yes, only those who are sincere can interact safely. Many humans come with arrogance or impatience. You are different, human. That is why I trust you. Leo felt a warmth spread through him. Mira's trust was something he valued more than any discovery. Thank you, Mira. I will not betray it. They moved along the river, observing the creatures that lived within it. Some were delicate ribbons of light that twisted and twirled. Others were small spheres that glowed with internal energy. Leo recorded their movements in his mind, fascinated by the coordination and harmony. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the air. A section of the river's edge collapsed, sending a surge of energy upward. Leo stumbled again, this time unable to regain balance. Mira reacted instantly, catching him with both hands. You must focus, human, she said, her voice sharp. Do not panic. Leo's heart raced, but he steadied himself. I am okay, he said, though his chest was pounding. Mira's glow flickered as she guided him to a safer area. The river tests those who enter it, she explained. It respects courage and discipline. Fear makes it dangerous. Leo nodded, understanding the lesson. I will be careful, he said. Thank you for saving me. Mira's cheeks flushed softly. It is unnatural, she said. We look out for those we trust. They continued along the river, moving carefully through the glowing landscape. Leo noticed that Mira seemed to anticipate the river's shifts before they happened, guiding him with subtle gestures and words. He realized how much she understood her world and how much he had yet to learn. After some time, they reached a clearing where the river split into multiple streams. The light here was brighter, more intense, and the creatures more active. Mira knelt beside one of the streams, placing her hands just above the flowing energy. Watch carefully, she said. This stream is sensitive to emotion. You must approach it with calm and curiosity. Leo knelt beside her, focusing on the energy. The river responded, pulsing gently with their combined presence. Mira watched him closely, her glow flickering softly as she observed his concentration. You are good at this, human, she said quietly. Your intentions are clear and the river senses it. That is why it responds. Leo smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. I am learning from the best teacher, he said. Mira's blush deepened. Do not flatter me, human, she said softly, but thank you. They spent the next hour moving along the streams, observing patterns and interacting with the flowing energy. Leo was careful, patient, and fully present, following Mira's guidance. Each time he called her lovely, she blushed and smiled, a subtle bond forming between them with every word. As the sun began to set, casting golden light across the landscape, Mira paused near a glowing tree. Its branches twisted and shimmered, and small creatures moved among its roots. "This is a place of reflection," Mira explained. "Many of my people come here to understand themselves and the world. Humans rarely visit such places, but you are welcome." Leo knelt beside the tree, feeling the warmth of the glowing roots. "It is beautiful," he said. "I can see why your people value this place." Mira sat beside him, her light pulsing softly. "You are lovely, human," she said, smiling faintly. Leo laughed softly. "I thought I was supposed to say that to you." She tilted her head, her blush deepening. "Sometimes words are meant to be shared, not only given." They sat in silence for a while, watching the rivers glow and the creatures move. Leo felt a sense of peace he had never experienced before. He realized that Mira's world was teaching him not just about alien life, but about patience, respect, and understanding. Suddenly, a tremor shook the ground. The river surged violently, sending tendrils of light shooting into the air. Leo stumbled, but Mira caught him instantly. "The river is angry," she said, her voice firm. "We must move quickly." They ran along the glowing paths, dodging surges of energy. Mira led the way, anticipating the river's movements. Leo followed closely, trusting her completely. After several tense moments, they reached a safer area. The river calmed, pulsing gently as if nothing had happened. Leo panted, his chest heaving, but he felt exhilarated. "That was intense," he said, still catching his breath. Mira nodded, her glow softening. "The river tests those who enter it. Only those who remain calm and trust one another can pass safely." "You did well, human." Leo felt a surge of pride. "We did well, Mira, together." She smiled, a faint blush coloring her cheeks. "Yes, together." As the evening fell, they returned to the station, walking side by side along the glowing paths. Leo felt a deep sense of connection with Mira, a bond formed through trust, courage, and shared experience. Before entering the station, Mira paused and looked at him. "Tomorrow we will explore further. The rivers have more to teach, but you must remember what you have learned today. Your words, your actions, and your intentions all matter." Leo nodded. "I understand, Mira, and I will remember." She smiled, her glow flickering softly in the evening light. "Good human. And do not forget the word." Leo smiled, feeling warmth in his chest. "You are lovely, Mira." Mira looked at him and smiled, a soft blush spreading across her shimmering skin. "Yes, human. I know." With that, they returned to the station, leaving the glowing rivers behind for now. Leo knew that their adventure had only just begun. The rivers had tested them, the creatures had watched them, and their bond had grown stronger through trust and courage. Leo felt a thrill of excitement for the days to come. With Mira as his guide, he was ready to explore deeper into her world, to learn more about the energy flows, the creatures, and the lessons that awaited him. And most of all, he was eager to continue sharing moments with Mira, whose presence had already begun to change the way he saw life, the universe, and the meaning of connection. The next morning, Leo awoke early, the soft hum of the station filling the room. He had barely slept, thinking about the glowing rivers, the creatures, and Mira. Every moment spent with her seemed to open a new world. Today promised a deeper understanding, not just of her planet, but of her people, their culture, and their way of life. He made his way to the observation deck, his steps careful but full of anticipation. Mira was already there, standing at the edge of the glass platform. Her glowing skin reflected the soft morning light, and her eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Good morning, human," she said, her voice calm yet filled with a quiet warmth. "Good morning, Mira," Leo replied. "I am ready to learn more about your world today." Mira smiled faintly. "Today we will visit a village near the rivers. My people live there in harmony with the energy flows. You must observe, respect, and not interfere. Understanding our culture is as important as studying our rivers." Leo nodded. He had traveled to many worlds, but none had taught him so quickly about patience, humility, and observation. Mira had shown him that life here was not only alive in a physical sense, but connected in ways humans rarely considered. They moved down to the lower levels of the station, stepping onto the platform that extended over the glowing forest. Mira's steps were graceful, guiding Leo safely along the paths. As they walked, she began to explain her people's traditions. Our culture values balance and harmony, she said. Every action, every word, and every thought is meant to contribute to the whole. Humans often act quickly without thinking of consequences. You must learn to slow down and feel the world around you. Leo listened carefully, impressed by her wisdom. I want to understand, Mira. I want to see things through your eyes. She glanced at him, a faint blush spreading across her glowing cheeks. Your intentions are honest, human. That is why I trust you. After some time, they reached a village built along the edges of a river of soft golden light. The structures were delicate and luminous, blending seamlessly with the glowing forest. Small creatures moved among the pathways and soft hums of energy filled the air. Leo stepped forward cautiously, observing the people. They were similar in form to Mira, with shimmering skin and bright, curious eyes. But each had subtle differences, patterns of light on their skin that indicated age, experience, and social role. They are welcoming us, Mira whispered. But you must remember, respect is shown through actions, not words alone. Watch, listen, and do not rush. Leo nodded, feeling the weight of her advice. He followed Mira as she led him through the village, pointing out the communal gardens, the energy collectors, and the places of learning. Each area was alive with glowing plants and flowing rivers, creating a harmony that Leo had never imagined possible. As they walked, Mira explained more about her people's values. We honor curiosity, she said, but curiosity must be balanced with care. We respect the energy of life and the wisdom of those who came before. Humans often seek knowledge quickly, without understanding responsibility. You must remember that here every action has impact. Leo felt a sense of humility. He realized that his species often acted as if the universe belonged to them. Here every life form mattered. Every word carried weight and every action was observed. He had never experienced such a careful, thoughtful society. They reached a central plaza, where several elders of Mira's people were gathered. Their skin glowed with soft patterns, and their eyes reflected wisdom and experience. Mira bowed slightly in greeting. Greetings, Mira, one elder said, his voice deep and resonant. You bring a human. It is unusual for one of your kind to visit respectfully. Leo stepped forward and bowed. Greetings, he said politely. I am Leo. I come in peace and with curiosity. I wish to learn from your people. The elder studied him carefully, then nodded. Curiosity is good. Respect is better. Observe and learn, human. Your actions will speak louder than words. Mira guided Leo through the plaza, pointing out the different practices of her people. Some were tending the energy gardens, carefully harvesting light to feed the village. Others were teaching younglings how to sense and interact with the flowing rivers. Every action was deliberate, every movement precise. Leo watched with fascination. It is beautiful, he said softly. Your people live in a way that honors everything around them. Humans could learn much from this. Mira glanced at him, a soft blush coloring her cheeks. Yes, human. That is why I wanted you to see it firsthand. Understanding our culture requires experience, not just observation. As they continued, they came to a quiet area where children were learning to interact with the energy rivers. Mira knelt beside one youngling, guiding its hands over the flowing light. Patience, she said softly. Feel the rhythm. Do not force it. The river responds to care, not control. Leo knelt beside her, observing carefully. He had learned much from Mira already, but seeing her teach others gave him a deeper understanding of her compassion and wisdom. You are patient with them, he said quietly. It is lovely to see. Mira's blush deepened. You use that word again, human, she said softly. It carries meaning for me. You understand its power? Leo smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. I cannot help it, Mira. You are lovely in many ways. She looked at him, her eyes bright, and for a moment, they simply shared the quiet understanding that had grown between them. After spending time with the younglings, Mira led Leo to a small library-like structure where elders stored knowledge. The walls glowed softly, and holographic patterns of light floated in the air, showing histories and lessons of the planet. Here humans can learn from us, Mira explained. Our history, our science, and our understanding of life are all recorded. You may find it different from your methods, but there is value in every approach. Leo moved among the glowing displays, reading and observing. He noticed how carefully each record was maintained, each pattern of light reflecting not only information but also intention and respect. It was a way of recording knowledge that honored both the truth and the lives connected to it. Humans often record only facts, Mira said softly. Here, we record feelings, intentions, and consequences. Knowledge is not separate from life. It is part of life. Leo nodded, feeling the depth of her words. I see that now. Your culture is not just about learning, but about understanding the world and our place in it. Mira smiled faintly, her glow pulsing softly. Yes, human. That is why I wanted you to see this. Knowledge without understanding is empty. Understanding without care is dangerous. They spent the afternoon exploring the village further, learning about the energy collectors, the communal gardens, and the ways her people taught cooperation and empathy. Leo felt a deep respect for Mira and her people. He realized that humans often rushed through life, seeking results without understanding the processes and connections that sustain them. As the sun began to set, Mira led Leo to a high platform overlooking the village and the glowing rivers. The sky turned deep purple and red, reflecting on the shimmering landscape below. The view was breathtaking, a mix of natural beauty and deliberate care from her people. Your people live in harmony with everything, Leo said quietly. It is amazing. Mira's blush deepened slightly. Harmony is not easy to achieve, she said. It requires patience, respect, and understanding. Humans often act quickly, but you have shown patience today, human. That is why I trust you more. Leo felt a warmth spread through his chest. Thank you, Mira. I am learning from you every day. She smiled, her glow pulsing gently. And I am learning from you, human. You are honest, curious, and kind. That is rare among your kind. Leo looked at her, feeling the bond between them deepen. I want to continue learning, Mira. Not just about your world, but about your people, your culture, and you. Mira's eyes softened, and her blush spread across her shimmering skin. And I will teach you, human. But remember, learning requires respect. Words alone are not enough. Actions, care, and attention are needed as well. Leo nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. He realized that this mission had become something more than observation. It was a journey of understanding, connection, and growth. And with Mira as his guide, he felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As night fell, they returned to the station, walking side by side along the glowing paths. Leo could still see the shimmer of the village below, the rivers of light and the creatures moving in harmony. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for Mira, for her trust and for the lessons she had shared. Before entering the station, Mira paused and looked at him. Tomorrow we will face challenges that test our bond and our understanding. The rivers have more to teach, and the creatures will challenge your patience and courage. Are you ready, human? Leo smiled, feeling his chest swell with determination. I am ready, Mira. I will follow your guidance and do my best. Mira's glow pulsed softly. Good, human. And do not forget the word. Leo smiled, feeling warmth in his heart. You are lovely, Mira. She looked at him and smiled, a soft blush spreading across her glowing cheeks. Yes, human. I know. As they entered the station, Leo felt certain that tomorrow would bring new challenges, lessons, and adventures. The bond between them had grown stronger. And he knew that understanding Mira's culture and people would be as important as exploring her glowing rivers and mysterious creatures. The night was quiet. The morning sun rose slowly over the glowing rivers, painting the landscape in shades of gold, purple, and blue. Leo stepped onto the observation deck, his heart beating faster than usual. Today promised to be different. Mira had told him that they would face challenges, and he could feel a sense of anticipation in the air. Mira was already waiting, her shimmering skin catching the light. Her eyes reflected the colors of the planet, and her glow pulsed softly as if she sensed the energy of the day. Good morning, human, she said, her voice calm but filled with a quiet intensity. Good morning, Mira, Leo replied. I am ready for whatever comes today. She smiled faintly, her blush spreading slightly. Today the rivers will test us. You must be attentive, patient, and brave. Only together can we face what awaits. Leo nodded. I understand, Mira. We will face it together. They stepped onto the lower platform where the rivers of light flowed like living veins. The air shimmered with energy, and creatures of all shapes moved gracefully beneath them. Leo felt the familiar thrill of anticipation mixed with respect. He had seen the rivers calm and gentle, wild and surging, but today felt different. Mira led the way, her movements confident and precise. Follow closely, she instructed. The rivers will react to fear, hesitation, and doubt. You must be steady. Leo focused, remembering everything Mira had taught him. He felt the energy beneath his feet, matching his heartbeat to the rhythm of the rivers. Mira glanced at him, a soft blush coloring her glowing skin, and nodded. Good, human. You are ready. As they moved along the river, a sudden surge of energy shot upward. Tendrils of light twisted violently, and creatures scattered in all directions. Leo stumbled, his heart racing. Mira reacted instantly, catching him with both hands. Do not panic, human, she said firmly. Trust the river and trust me. Leo steadied himself, feeling Mira's calm presence anchoring him. I trust you, Mira, he said, focusing on his intention and letting fear pass through without holding on to it. The river pulsed around them, testing their coordination. Mira guided him through the surging energy, using subtle gestures and careful movements. Leo followed, learning to anticipate the river's reactions and responding with calm precision. After several tense moments, they reached a calmer section of the river. Both of them knelt, letting the energy flow gently around their hands. Leo could feel the river responding to their unity, the pulses of light moving in harmony with their combined presence. You are doing well, human, Mira said softly, her glow pulsing warmly. Your heart is steady. Your intentions are clear. That is why the river respects you. Leo smiled, feeling pride and relief. We did it together, Mira. She looked at him, her blush deepening. Yes, together. That is important. Alone, you would not have succeeded. Trust and cooperation are key to understanding this world. They continued along the river, observing the creatures and the glowing currents. Some were ribbons of light that twisted and turned with grace. Others were small orbs that pulsed with energy and time with the rivers. Leo noticed how Mira communicated with the creatures using subtle gestures and quiet sounds that seemed to guide them without force. You have a gift, Mira, he said quietly. You understand them in a way humans never could. She smiled faintly. And you have learned to see without controlling, to feel without forcing. That is why you have come far today, human. You have grown. Leo felt warmth in his chest. Mira's words meant more than any reward or discovery. She recognized his effort, his patience, and his willingness to learn. He had come to the planet to observe, but he had found something far more meaningful: understanding, connection, and trust. As they reached a clearing where the river split into multiple glowing streams, Mira paused. This is where the final test begins, she said softly. The rivers will challenge not only our coordination, but also our intentions. You must remain honest, patient, and calm. Leo nodded, feeling determination. I am ready, Mira. We will face it together. The rivers surged suddenly, sending bright tendrils of light into the air. Leo and Mira moved in sync, guiding each other carefully. Each pulse of energy tested their focus, their coordination, and their trust. Leo realized that this challenge was more than a physical test. It was a test of their bond. You are steady, human, Mira said, her voice calm but filled with warmth. Keep your focus. Trust the river and trust me. Leo felt the rhythm of the rivers and the presence of Mira as one. He moved with confidence, anticipating the surges and responding in harmony. Together they guided the energy, calming it without force. The creatures returned, moving gracefully around them, acknowledging their control and unity. After several tense minutes, the rivers calmed completely. The glowing streams pulsed gently and the creatures moved peacefully once more. Leo and Mira knelt, breathing heavily but smiling. You did it, human, Mira said, her glow pulsing warmly. Together we succeeded. Leo smiled, feeling pride and relief. We did it, Mira. I could not have done it without you. She looked at him, her blush spreading across her shimmering skin. And I could not have done it without you, human. Trust, patience, and understanding are powerful. You have learned much, and so have I. They spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the calm rivers, observing the creatures, and sharing quiet moments. Leo noticed how Mira's presence had become a source of strength and guidance, not only for him but for the creatures and the river itself. You have taught me more than I could imagine, Leo said quietly, about patience, respect, and understanding, and about connection. Mira smiled softly, her glow pulsing in response. And you have taught me that humans can be honest, kind, and capable of true care. That is rare, human. You are special. Leo felt a warmth he had never experienced before. You are special too, Mira. I have never met anyone like you. She tilted her head, a soft blush coloring her cheeks. And yet we understand each other. That is more important than words. More important than titles or achievements. Connection is what matters. Leo reached out gently, brushing a hand against hers. She did not pull away. Instead, she looked at him with a soft, trusting gaze. The energy of the rivers seemed to respond to their bond, pulsing gently around them as if acknowledging their unity. "You are lovely, Mira," he said softly, feeling the words flow from his heart. Her blush deepened, her glow pulsing warmly. "Yes, human. I know, and you are steady, kind, and brave. That is why I trust you." They sat together on the edge of a glowing stream, watching the rivers flow and the creatures move in harmony. The moment was quiet yet filled with meaning. Leo realized that their bond had grown beyond words, beyond species, and beyond the challenges they had faced. As evening approached, Mira led Leo back to the station, walking side by side along the glowing paths. The sky above the planet turned deep purple, and the rivers reflected the colors in soft waves. Leo felt a deep sense of peace and gratitude. He had come to study a planet, but he had discovered something far more extraordinary, a connection with Mira that transcended words. Before entering the station, Mira paused and looked at him. "Human, you have learned much, and so have I. Today, we faced challenges, grew together, and proved that connection and understanding are stronger than fear or hesitation." Leo nodded, feeling his chest swell with emotion. "I understand, Mira, and I am grateful for every moment with you." Her glow pulsed softly, and a faint blush spread across her shimmering cheeks. "Remember the word human. It carries meaning beyond what you imagine." Leo smiled, feeling warmth in his heart. "You are lovely, Mira." She looked at him and smiled, a soft blush spreading across her glowing skin. "Yes, human. I know." As they entered the station, the hum of energy from the planet below filled the room. Leo knew that their journey was far from over, but he also knew that they had formed a bond that would guide them through any challenge. He reflected on the days they had spent together, the first accidental word, the exploration of the rivers, the cultural lessons, and the shared adventure. Every moment had strengthened their trust, their understanding, and their connection. Leo realized that humanity's strength was not just in exploration or technology, but in the ability to connect, to understand, and to inspire. Mira had shown him that even across species, even in a world completely different from his own, connection was possible. As night fell over the glowing rivers, Leo and Mira sat quietly, watching the lights of the creatures and the flowing energy. The bond between them was strong, formed through trust, courage, and shared experience. It was a bond that transcended words, yet words like lovely had become a symbol of their connection, a reminder of kindness, respect, and understanding. Leo knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures, new challenges, and new lessons. But he also knew that with Mira by his side, they could face anything together. And as they sat side by side, sharing the quiet glow of the rivers, both human and alien understood something simple yet profound. That connection, trust, and understanding were the greatest discoveries of all.